day 50 consistency, worker versus builder. Maybe, just maybe, you feel lost or stuck in life because you've been working versus building. You go to that job, you do your task, you do your assignments, you do what you're told, and then you wait until you get more assignments, more tests, and you're just living this life where you don't have anything that you connect to. You're just doing what you've been doing every day, 5 days a week, 40 hours a week, for so-and-so years, when maybe you're meant to build, create, and be more innovative, design what you want your life to look like, what you want your work life to even look like. But I think too many people fall in this system of just, 10 feet forward, 10 feet back, where you just keep going and you do the same thing over and over and over. But that's a rut. If you have the same schedule, same alarm clock, same, put on the same clothes every day, like you're in this rut, and ruts can even be positive. You can still be making money, you can still be providing, but you can feel lost and empty on the inside because you're not doing what you were called to do, which is create, design. Real work, whether it's career or even a job that keeps you from being burnt out, keeps you from, not connecting with it, is going to have you doing some form of innovative work, some kind of creation, some kind of designing. And that doesn't mean marketing or artistic stuff, but your thoughts are innovative. You're creating, you're dialoguing, you're coming up with new solutions, new ideas. You're changing how you attack a certain task or assignment. Or you're building your own empire, you're building your own business, your own online marketing, your own, side business, your own small business. And with that, you're doing what you're called to do, which is create, spread good news. You're not just doing what you're told. Part of life, part of human expression is that of freedom, of go out and conquer, go out and do what you want. That's how the world is to what it is today. Is people went out and explored new endeavors, new seas, new countries, new continents, new pieces of land, and then they created. Look at art in the Renaissance time frame, and the olden Europe, like art was art, sculptors, like actual art, and now we have modern art, which isn't as beautiful. Things are more just, people and things lack purpose, they lack passion. That's why old music, old movies, old art is so much better than it is today. There's no new original ideas. Think about it. What are all movies? They're all remakes. They're just remaking the same movies over and over, whether it's old movies being turned into new movies, or they're just doing sequels and making 10 of the same movie. Fast and the Furious, Saw, remakes. They just remade Nosferatu, which has been done a couple times. They did Pennywise's It. They remade that. Stephen King's It. They remade that. Like, they have all these movies, all these sequels, nothing new. Look at music. Music definitely is not what it used to be. Old school, music from the 80s, music from the 90s, even the early 2000s was just better. And I think there was more purpose in it. There was more passion in it. People were actually creating because they love to create. Whereas now it seems like most people are doing it to get rich and get famous. There's not as much love into it. And same thing with art. Now more people are worried about money, so there's not as many artists and creators that are just doing it, like starving artists. I'm not saying that there need to be starving artists, but they did it for the love. And when you're a builder, you're doing it for the love. You're either doing it for the love of yourself, for something you're passionate at, like that hobby you turned it in, you figured out how to monetize it, or you're doing it to help others, like in a charity or nonprofit way. And those are the people that are the most satisfied. Those are the people that don't burn out. They can work 70, 80, 90, 100 hours because they love what they're doing. Their desire for whatever that is keeps them durable. It keeps them going. Whereas you hate your job, so 20 hours out of that 40-hour week, you're already complaining, taking naps, waking up late to go to work, showing up 15 minutes late, making up other excuses, taking extra long lunch breaks, and going to the toilet, sitting on the toilet for another 10 minutes on your phone, and the last 30 minutes of your day you're applying for other jobs because you hate what you're doing. You don't see anything. You don't connect with the work you're doing, and you're just in that matrix of just click, 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 or you're in that warehouse and, destroying your body even more, picking up 80-pound, engine mounts and things like that. And I'm not talking bad about jobs or about being a worker, but until you see purpose in your work or you have passion for what you do, you're going to feel lost. You're going to feel empty. You're going to feel miserable. You're going to feel tired because you just don't have, the energy's not coming because you don't see anything from it. You don't see a future. That's what depression is. Depression is you don't see a hopeful future. And you just become a living dead. You just become like an NPC where you're not really living. You're making a living, but you're not making a life. You're not living life. You're not put on this planet just to pay bills and die. So you have to figure out what it is, and that doesn't mean you have to be a business owner or anything like that. But like you can work a job, but there's other ways to work in a better industry or a better field of study that is going to allow you to see more purpose, more connection to your work. Or the position you work, you have more say-so. You're a creator again. You're a builder. You're able to create an idea and have your company build that idea. That's a form of creation. That's a form of building. It doesn't just mean that you have to be you have to go be self-employed. You can be an employee and work a job and still be a builder. You just have to be put in the right situation and utilized the right way. But if you leave it up to your boss, a lot of them misuse their employees. They don't know how to put the proper people in the proper seats in order for them to flourish. And that's why job turnover is so much. And so many people quit their jobs, switch jobs, look for the higher pay, quit their job, start their own endeavor, go DoorDash versus, working a day job because they see more, they feel more like themselves doing that, or they don't feel as lost or as empty. So I challenge you, maybe it's time to build, create, do something that you actually care about. Figure out how to monetize a hobby. Figure out how to go to a company where you're going to be utilized in the proper way. Figure out how to make your ideas more valuable in your work, in your career, or you might already be a business owner. How do you keep continuing to build, keep the momentum up, keep innovating, keep striving to be better, keep improving, keep growing. And if you're a worker, how do you realize that you're just a worker and how to become a builder? So I hope this motivates you. I hope this inspires you. And I wish you peace and blessings on the journey.